in Woburn. I'm your host, Samantha Stone. While this will not be published until September 12th, I do want to recognize September 11th and all the feelings that come flooding back to us about how we came together as a nation to support each other. And today, I hope you found a way to honor the lives that we lost on that terrible day. And I hope that you're looking forward to all kinds of good things and reaching out and supporting the community in any way that you can. We're going to start up today talking about something that's really wonderful and historic and fabulous, which is the Woburn Library. I'm thrilled to have the Friends of the Woburn Public Library join us. Colleen, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
So you're not the only friend, obviously. I introduced you as if you were the friend of the library, but you are leading what is an awesome upcoming book sale to help raise funds. Tell us a little bit about how the Friends support the library and the programming that this book sale will support.
Yeah, so I'm the chair of the executive board of the Friends. We're probably up to over 150 actual friends of the library currently. So one of the main things we do besides advocacy for the library or increasing visibility of certain programs and things is to raise the funds that are used for the Museum Pass program. So Woburn residents, even if I think if you don't have a library card, but if you are someone from an outside town with a library card, you can't use it, but it's only for Woburn residents. The library purchases museum passes, and then you can use those. So Museum of Science, Aquarium, there's like 16 of them, and they're looking always to get more depending on what the interest is and what the usage is. So the book sale, the Friends in general funds, like our dues, are used for that, but really our main driver and our main fundraiser for the year is the book sale.
And I have to tell you, the Museum Pass program is fantastic. I have used it multiple times, both when my kids were younger and we would go to places, but also just for myself. I've used it to go to the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum, for example. And it's an awesome effort. And all you have to do is call and reserve it, and that's it. So I love that we're doing that. Now, the book sale is super fun because we get to take all the books out of our houses and move them somewhere else. I cleaned off a bookshelf. I know lots of other people are doing that. Tell us a little bit about what else besides books you are accepting as donations.
Yeah, so we're taking not only hardcover and paperback and children's books, but also CDs, DVDs, audiobooks, games, puzzles, and yeah, that's it. So I know somebody did drop off.
Are board games, correct? You don't want electronic things, or do you?
I think board games is what we were going for. I think that would be the best. I mean, even with all the CDs and DVDs, I don't know who wants them. Maybe there are some places, residential facilities that can use them, but I think we're going to get a lot of CDs and DVDs.
Yeah. So where should donations be made? So for those of us who are ready to clear out a shelf or a room or wherever we happen to store them.
Yeah, so we are accepting donations Monday, September 18th through the 21st, Thursday, at the program room at the library. So if you go down around the back, there's the program room on the left and the children's room on the right. We will have volunteers helping to take donations out of your car if you need it. And that's from 9:30 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. All through that week.
That's fantastic. Now, here's the good news. Once you've cleared off that shelf or that corner of your room or wherever, or that closet, you can come to the book sale itself and stock up on a whole bunch of new books. So tell us a little bit, because friends get who are members get an extra little bonus of coming early, right?
That's right. So yeah, fill your shelf up again, read those, and then next year, donate them back. And then, again, keep the cycle going. So on Friday, the 22nd, from 9:30 to 4:30, we have the first day of the sale, and that is for Friends members only. Now, all you need to do to become a friend is go to our website, woburnpubliclibrary.org/friends, and you can sign up. There's a suggested donation of $15 for an individual and $25 for a family, but of course, we understand that these are difficult times, and so it's suggested. You know, if you want to give more, fantastic. If you can't give anything, we understand. As long as you are part of our list of people who love the library, that's all we really want, right? But of course, we want to keep our programs going. So you can make a donation, but if not, that's fine. And that is all day on Friday. That's the Friends sneak preview day. And then the actual sale for the general public is on Saturday from 9:30 to 4:30 again. And of course, people can still sign up on Saturday to be friends if they'd like to, but that's the one like big benefit of being a friend is being able to get that first pick through of the all the items.
That's fantastic. So, hopefully everything is going to sell and there's going to be not a book or a bag or anything left, but that might not be realistic. What happens to the donations that are not sold? Are they just kept for a future sale?
No, because we have nowhere to put them. So we actually, at the end of the first day, at the end of the second day, you can get it. I think it's like $15 to fill a bag. And so we have paper bags that were actually donated by Sam Walker's on Montvale. And you can fill, so, I mean, you don't want to wait to buy the books that you want because they could be gone by then, but that's one way we're looking to sort of clear out. And then after that, we'll box them up, and an organization called More Than Words that's located in Boston and Waltham will come and pick them up, and they will add them to their inventory. So they help the kids that I work with, kids that are at risk, and give them jobs and teach them skills, and all the proceeds from their stores go to these programs. So and they make it a lot easier for us too.
I'm so glad I asked that question, because here's the thing. It doesn't matter if you think your book is interesting, because it might be interesting to someone else. It might be something that somebody uses as a craft. I've made like holiday ornaments using books, and I didn't really care what the form of the books was, and anything left over goes to a great cause. So definitely be generous with your donations and come out and be generous. I think we might have some raffles as well. People can participate in that way as well. Correct?
That's right. So yes, those books are not doing anybody any favors just sitting on your shelves. And I had to tell myself that. And then I ended up with like 4 boxes of books that I'm not going to get to, or I read them and I'm not going to touch them again. So they just need to move on. But raffles, we actually have some donations from the archives at the library. They were going through when we got our new archivist and streamlining the collection. And, you have to make room just like with the books. So she donated some artwork that we are going to be raffling off. And then there's also some of the schools will do this where you have the lollipops with the color on the bottom. And when you pick the lollipop, you get whatever prize. I know that's always a popular one for the kids. So we'll have that as well.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for joining me, Colleen. This is a great opportunity to support programming at the library and to support just in general the community, and also come have some fun. And while you're there, it'd be good to take a look around. So we'll hopefully see lots and lots of people there as that date comes up. It's not far away.
And if anybody wants to volunteer for the donation days or the sale, they can also go to our website, which I'm sure Jen will put at the bottom, but woburnpubliclibrary.org/friends. And the links are right there to sign up to help us out.
Perfect. That's really important for us to remember as well, because books can be a little heavy. So it'll be great to have some volunteers there to help lug some things around. Fantastic. Next up, Meaghan Morris, candidate for school committee.
Hi.
Hi, welcome, Meaghan. Good to have you.
Thanks.
So are you, you've got all kinds of fabulous artwork I just want to ask you about in the background. Tell us a little bit about what's there.
So when COVID hit and we all went virtual, I was helping teaching at my old district virtual. So this was my office back in the day. So I kind of left it up because I love, some of my own old former students would make art, and parents would drop it off at my house. So I would always have it hanging up in my office. So when we do Zoom learning, they would see their art on my wall.
Oh, that's really fun. Well, it's awesome. Fun, colorful things. Thanks for sharing that with us. Now, you've decided to throw your hat in the ring for school committee, which I always thank everybody for doing that, because this is a big commitment of time and energy and all of that. And you're a busy person. So tell us what motivated you to do that.
All right. The reason why I want to do this is I'm a mom of 3 amazing kiddos, and 2 of them are actually special ed kids in Woburn Public Schools. My motivation was to have a voice as a school committee person to help with our special ed, that means communication more with special ed office and communication with the upper people, administration. Sometimes communication gets lost in the framework with special ed, communicating with our educators to the parents. So I feel like I have that opportunity to have that bridge. And not only that, I do a lot in our community. I'm a PTO mom for a couple schools. I'm a Scout mom, a Boy Scout and a Cub Scout mom for 502. I have my hands in a lot of community events. I've been a resident of Woburn since the 90s. I was part of Woburn Public Schools, graduated from Woburn High School. And I just feel like, I can be a voice for our special ed parents. And we will be able to have another educator on the board and then I'll be the only one as of right now in special ed to be on that board.
So one of the things and I'm going to sort of read my notes here because I want to make sure I represent what I read from your announcement correctly. In your announcement, you talk about innovative ideas and creating nurturing spaces, which obviously sounds fantastic, right? Those are all good things. What does that look like for our students and our staff?
So that means like having a safe space, a safe area to our staffs can come to. I want to be a safe person on the school committee board that our educators can come to when I hold office hours, and I can hear their concerns and what they needs and wants are, and I can bring it to the community, to the school committee board. Also for our students, we need to have that kind of space so they can have a place to grow, to learn, and they can feel they can connect with their educators. Doesn't mean you're a classroom teacher. It can be a paraprofessional, a service providers, anybody that's in the schools. If we have a safe space, that means we have more of an opportunity of a good learn. We can learn better.
So one of the things that is a benefit of being an educator, right, is you really understand how schools work. You have participated in it from a staff perspective and from different ways. Now, you don't work in the Woburn schools, just to be clear. You work in the Reading schools. Just want the community to know that. But there's also a balance of sort of my experience as an educator with my role on the school committee. How do you find, how will you balance those two things, and where do you draw those lines?
Because I don't work for Woburn, I work for a different city, which is awesome. I can just balance that out because I'm not in Woburn Public Schools. I can bring in other information from the town I work for and give our schools more like ideas, like a crisis team that Woburn's trying to work for. Like, it's just like, to me, it's just easy to do that. And it's easy for me to have boundaries between what I do for a living and what I'm going to do for a school committee.
One of the things that you've expressed in the past in some of the communications that you've shared is that you were not, I don't want to put words in your mouth, so I'm going to say what I believe I'm interpreting, but please correct me if I'm misstating, that the funding that we provided for the schools was insufficient for the goals of meeting our schools this year. And I want to understand better from you what you feel the correct funding should have been, and make sure that I'm correctly interpreting what I thought you had said.
I can't give numbers on that until I see all the data, right? We need to have data collection. But I do feel like there needs to be a better balance in the budget. The city needs to invest more in our students and educators. And I understand that taxes in Woburn are very low, and that means residents don't want to change that, right? We don't want to change our taxes in Woburn because we play a really not a high pace like Arlington, Reading, other surrounding towns. So Woburn needs to have we need to have a balance in our budget. And I see that in the school committee that we have a lot of people who are fighting to add more. And it's the mayor's job, it's the city councilors. And I feel like we need to have good communication with everybody that has a leg in this, in the school budget. And we really need to focus on what's better for our students and our educators. But once again, I
just want to make sure I understand that. So is it the total amount of money is known, right? That's not hidden. Those numbers are, or is it the distribution of that money?
Right. Where is this money going? Like, do we understand, we had money for COVID, and where's some of these where is half of this money going to? Why do we have to cut back? If that makes sense to you, why do we have to cut our educators when we actually really need our educators?
No, that's really helpful. So I know it's always difficult to understand and know the detail of those things. Obviously, there have been open meetings discussing some of those things, and some of that data is available, but it needs interpretation and all kinds of things that go along with that. I would like, one of the things that I always think is helpful as a community for us to understand where our strengths lie. As you look at the current Woburn public school system, what do you think some of the key strengths and things that you'd like to see us continue are?
Well, our educators are really amazing, and we're so grateful to have really good people in our schools. And like without our educators, our schools wouldn't be where they are. And I feel like we need to really support our teachers. And I feel like after the teacher strikes, I feel like a lot of families have seen that to like have become more of a community. So our strength is more as a community and like really supporting our educators, no matter if you're a teacher, a paraprofessional, a service provider, a special ed teacher. So I think that's a really good strength that we are seeing in Woburn, and I love that.
That's great. In addition to communication, which you've talked about, are there other big areas of improvement that you'd like to see, that you would want to focus on should you be elected?
Yes, I really like to see more improvement in our special ed department, making sure like all of our students and educators are getting the support they need and want to get in. Also, our mental health providers, we really need to focus in our mental health. Even just after COVID, even like nowadays with our students and our staff, we really need to really zero on into our mental health.
So campaigns are busy. We've got a few more weeks before election time. Do you have any events or activities that you're doing that you want to let the community know about so they can get to know you better?
Right. So I did have one of my own kids go to the vocational school. So I did meet some of my vocational parents who are from Woburn. So I was able to like meet with them. I met with about like 50 parents already from Woburn. And I'm about to make some events coming up shortly on my campaign Facebook. It will be announced very shortly. I'm working with some spaces.
That's great. Well, it's always exciting opportunity. Anything else you want folks to know about you and your campaign?
Just know, like, I understand where our educators are. I'm an educator myself. I understand what everybody feels like in those classrooms. And, I am not only just an educator, I'm also a mom, and I'm in the community a lot.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, Meaghan, and for all the people who are running for current campaigns. I'm so grateful that we have many choices in our community, people who step up and want to serve. We're very, very fortunate to have that. Woburn, as always, please continue to take good care of each other.